It's Ken Harbaugh with Against All Enemies on the Midas Touch Network. I did not expect my holiday edition of Against All Enemies to start with Steve Bannon, but here we are. Apparently, Navy SEALs are now a little too woke. I'm going to introduce a friend of mine in a second, a former Navy SEAL with multiple combat deployments. But first, I want to share a story about a Christmas I spent on deployment. It was actually 2 Christmases in the same year. It'll make sense in a second. I'm sharing this story because there's this idea out there that the people who make up our military should be hardened warriors all the time, that there should be no room for anything else. I think that's why Ted Cruz retweeted a recruiting video from the Russian military, implying that our side was too soft. It's why Tommy Tuberville complained that the Navy sometimes allows poems to be read over the PA systems on our ships. And it's why Steve Bannon criticized Navy SEALs for being too woke. Never mind that none of these cosplay clowns would last 2 seconds, Bannon least of all, in a ring with an actual Navy SEAL. But back to my Christmas story. It was right after 9/11, and I was a mission commander leading an air crew halfway around the world. We had just wrapped up an emergency deployment responding to the 9/11 attacks, and we were trying to get our aircraft back home to the States for a much-needed overhaul. We stopped in Diego Garcia in late December for en route repairs and fuel. Diego Garcia, or Dodge as we all referred to it, is an island in the middle of the Indian Ocean, thousands of miles from anything else. In the months following 9/11, it became a fortress full of Americans and Brits and other Allied service members ramping up for the fight ahead.